So we're coming to baptism. I just wonder if there are any children who are small, can't really see. If you'd like to just come up and I can show you what we're going to do. You might like to come and watch what we're going to do up here and help me with a couple of questions perhaps. So what I've got here at the front is a lovely glass bowl, and we use it when we come to baptise our children here. So we are going to put some water in here in a minute, and I wonder if anybody can think of how useful water is. Does anybody know how useful water is? Is water very useful? Yeah. Yes, Naomi says yes, it's very useful. What do we use water for? Aliyah, can you give me one answer? What do we use water for?
To clean.
To clean. What in particular do we like to clean?
Our bodies.
Our bodies, the kitchen floor. Do you clean the kitchen floor? No. Who cleans the kitchen? Does anybody clean the kitchen floor? John? Excellent. Cleaning is a really good use of water. Can anybody else, besides my friend here, think of what else we use water for? Adults, you can join in. What else? We use water for cleaning. We use water for drinking. Yes, Donna, well done. Good answer. Drinking. Do you drink water very much?
Yes.
How many glasses do you drink a day?
5.
5. That's really good. I've been practicing drinking more water. So I've got up to 5 glasses a day. So we should be our skin should be equally good, shouldn't it? So water makes your skin look younger. That's what I'm told. So I'm about 27 now, don't I? I'm drinking 5 glasses a day. If we didn't drink water, what would happen to us? We'd die. Did you know that? If you don't have water. And you die quicker of thirst than you die of hunger, actually. Lots of food's got water in it. Did you know that? Can anybody think of a food item that's got quite a lot of water in it? Watermelon, that's a really good answer. Somebody brought me a really nice watermelon last week. I haven't seen one since last summer. And I loved eating it, but it was lots of wet stuff all over my face and my shirt as I was crunching my way through it. So there's a lot of water in our fruit and vegetables too. So we use water. Are we going to actually wash you today? No, we're not. We're not going to dunk you in, and we're not going to wash Naomi either. So you're not here to be washed, because you had a jolly good wash this morning, I expect, did you? And have you drunk your 1 glass of water this morning as well? Yeah, so you don't actually need water right now. But it becomes a sign or a symbol. It makes us think of God. So what God does for us in terms of water, he cleans us, he cleanses us, he renews us, and he feeds us. He gives us the water of life. Water of life, in Jewish thinking, is water that's running. Do you have running water in your house sometimes? What do you have to do to get the water to run?
Turn on the tap.
Yeah, we call it a tap, some of us call it a faucet. Turn it on, and the water runs from the tap, and then does it stay where you put it?
No.
No, not if you take the plug out, does it? It goes straight. That is called living water in Jewish thinking. Water that keeps on moving. Rivers are like that, aren't they? Are lakes like that? Some are, some aren't. Some lakes they do have a river at the top and a river at the bottom. Some we build like reservoirs. They don't. They have standing water, not running water. So the water that we pour into here, we remember, is Jesus' living water, living life. He's going to make you more alive, okay? And so that's it feeding you, and that's it cleansing you. But it's also, can anybody think of 2 stories in the Bible which involve a lot of water? The ark. Noah and the oak. That's the British version. No, Noah and the ark. Do you know that story? Maybe. Anyway, God saved the human race from a huge flood and all the animals by getting this chap called Noah to build a huge ship, basically. Actually, it was in the shape of a coffin. That's how when you look at the dimensions, slightly curved underneath. And he saved them from this huge flood. And then, can anybody think of another story in the Bible where a lot of water is involved? Yes, thank you for coming all the way from Tampa to tell us that. It was the parting of the Red Sea when another hero in the Bible, Moses, led the people of God, the Jewish people, They'd all been treated as slaves. They'd been in captivity in a country called Egypt. And God showed Moses how to release them by telling the leader, the Pharaoh, various things. And what God did say to Moses was, you're going to lead them through this huge channel of water called the Red Sea. I mean, I've actually been to the Red Sea, and there are huge ships on it. The idea of taking several thousands of people with you through the desert and then thinking, we're going to cross this and God's going to show us how, would just boggle my mind too much. But God told him to take his rod, like a long stick, and plant it on the edge of the water. If you imagine we're on the land and the white bit there is the river. Plant it on the edge, and the water divided. It was an extraordinary miracle. And the people were able to walk through, it says, on dry ground. There was a wind that dried the ground. So they walked through to the other side, and then the water closed. So they were safe, because the Egyptians couldn't then follow them. And Jesus and other people before Jesus talked about God saving us through the water. Does that make sense? He saved them, and they went through the water, but on dry ground. And that's the phrase we use in baptism. You're saved through the water, by the water. Thank you very much for being up here, Leah. Would you like to go back? Should we give her a round of applause for helping? Just go and sit down.